My name is Jeroen Vaassen. I'll be the moderator of today's event. And first, let me introduce the co-hosts. First of all, Martha Waslen, who's the founder and CEO of DayAway. She's built an amazing platform that started right here in Singapore and have now already scaled to multiple locations around the world. So we're looking forward to learning more about that in a minute. And then David Waslen, who's the co-founder of the Metaverse platform World, and he's really an expert in NFT, blockchain, crypto, all of those things Web3 related, and I'm sure he's going to demystify all of that in his presentation a little bit later. So I think just to quickly introduce the flow of today's event. So we'll kick off with David. He's going to give us an introduction, a more general introduction about the world of Web3. And as I said, hopefully he can demystify that a little bit to all of us. And then also give us some ideas about the opportunities that presents to all of us. And then Martha will take over. She'll tell you all about DayAway, the current platform, and all the exciting things that they have in store for us in the future. And then we'll end up with a Q&A and sort of a more conversational aspect. And so if you have any questions, type them in the chat box. We'll pick them up, and hopefully we have some great conversations towards the end. Thanks. So that's it to kick it off. And yeah, so Dave, I would say kick it off, or maybe Martha, you wanna say hi, and then you hand it over to Dave.
Yeah, no, thank you so much to everyone for joining, and Yerun for hosting our first DayAway Dialogues today. We're really excited to share some of the strategies DayAway is working on, and for Dave to join us and explain more about this amazing Metaverse market opportunity. So Dave, you want to kick it off with your presentation?
Yeah, great. Thank you everyone for having me. Thanks DayAway, thanks Yerun, thanks Martha and everybody. So yeah, I'll share my screen and I can go through a couple things here to explain the Metaverse sector and the NFT sector at a high level. I'll try to keep it pretty high level, but at the same time, I want to show you a couple cool things. And yeah, so what I have here, I'm on the OpenSea website. So I'm not sure if people have been here before, but this is OpenSea, and this is where a lot of NFT transactions happen. So this is a marketplace. This is where you can buy and sell and trade NFTs. This platform alone in the past 1 year has had greater than $10 billion of volume through it. And so it's really exploded. The year before that, it was only a small fraction. So it's grown a lot. And then you might have heard something called Bored Ape Yacht Club, and maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But this is an example of an NFT that has a huge following and huge user base. And these Bored Apes, this is the NFT itself. So it's a JPEG of an ape, and they are currently trading for 94 Ethereum. And Ethereum is just under $2,000 right now. So that's almost a $200,000 picture, an NFT. And so there's a lot of value that people are putting on these things. And it's for good reason. And I'll get into a little bit more of that. And then the business that I'm a co-founder of is called Wilder World, and we're building a fully photorealistic metaverse. And I'll just show a couple quick videos, and then we'll carry on. All right, I'll just pause it there and then just go back to my other screen. But what I wanted to show is the fact that there's a lot to unpack in this video alone. You can see some virtual real estate. You can see some virtual apparel. These vehicles we're selling as NFTs that you can drive around, and there's racing games that we're building in the metaverse. And then there's other metaverses as well. So there's Decentraland, and this is a fully different aesthetic. So it's a little bit more cartoon-esque and not as fully photorealistic as what Wilderworld is building. But nevertheless, this platform has $1 billion worth of land inside the metaverse. And people are spending that kind of capital on it because it has community and it has users, and people are going into the metaverse and they're playing games and they're interacting with others, and there's fashion shows and there's concerts, and it's quite interesting. And then there's another one, Sandbox, and related to the hospitality industry. What's interesting is Citizen M Hotel is the first hospitality company to build in the metaverse. So they acquired land in the Sandbox, and they're developing it, and they're going to build their own virtual hotel. And then a couple other interesting things just to show you is, here's an example of a crypto game. And so this is called Yerun, and there are these virtual horses that you can purchase as an NFT, and then you can have them race, and they race games, and you can win cryptocurrency if you train your horse and you have it run and it wins a race, it earns money. And so it's pretty fascinating. And so some of these things are pretty far out there, but other things a little bit closer to home. Here's an example of an NFT project called LinksDAO. And LinksDAO, like the golf course Links, sold NFTs where you can become a member. And if you're an owner of this NFT, you'll get access to certain golf courses and access to a golf course that they're intending to purchase. So they sold these NFTs, they raised over $10 million, and they're doing another Series A financing. And their intention is to purchase a golf course. And then if you're an NFT holder, you get to go to that club and you can get access as a member. And then there's another business called Pool Suite. And this is another form of membership NFT. So if you own this Pool Suite pass, then it's your key to the world. And it has access to hotels and pool parties, and you'll become a member of this club. And then Pool Suite, they have a vision of acquiring a manor and purchasing a huge mansion. And then if you're a Pool Suite card holder, you'll get access to this mansion. You can come to the parties and whatnot. And then there's a couple other really mainstream things where using NFTs, like the Australian Open. They had this year was the first year they did this NFT drop, and you could purchase these NFTs, and it gets you, part of the community. There's perks and privileges with these. And other mainstream brands like Mercedes-Benz. And so they did an official drop, and you can purchase these NFTs, and it's really to connect with the community and show your brand to the world. That's what the metaverse and NFTs can offer. And then here's another one, which is Louis Vuitton. And they have this game that they're creating. And if you play the game, you will earn NFTs. So they teach you about the history of Louis Vuitton, and you have to pass levels. And then at the end of it, you earn an NFT. And what people are doing, the younger generation and people of all generations, they're flexing their NFT. So they're putting it as their profile picture. It's something like Bored Apes have a lot of value. So if you have that as a profile picture, people know you own it. And, it's a status symbol. It's like driving a fancy car. It's like having a really nice, clothing or watch you can show off, or it's for passing games or doing something of utility, then you earn something, and it's a flex if you earn something. And then NFTs are also interesting for marketing and PR. So Visa purchased a CryptoPunk for $150,000, and this made huge news. So it was all over the crypto industry, is all over the tech industry. And this just shows that Visa is forward thinking. They want to get into this sector, and it's a draw for them to attract users and people to their platform and their brand, because it shows that they're forward thinking and cutting edge. And so they purchased this as an asset. They can still sell this asset, and it can even go up in value, and they can sell it for profit. But that was also for PR. So this is also revolutionizing PR and marketing, because that's not just an expense item. This is actually an asset that sits on the balance sheet. So there's even more I could go through and get to, but I want to be conscious of time. So anyway, this is just a quick overview of the NFT market and the metaverse and all the areas that it's exploring into. So maybe towards the end there'll be some questions that I can go even deeper. But yeah, thanks a lot for that.
Thanks, Dave. Jeroen,
yeah, very good. No, I was just going to hand it over to you, Martha, to continue. Thanks, Dave. It was very, very insightful introduction into the world of Web3. So we'll hand it over to Martha to continue to talk about DayAway and all the cool things that they're doing.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Jeroen. Thanks, Dave, for that. So I think that was a great overview of the landscape of Web3, everything from Metaverse to NFTs to utilities for communities. And I'd love to share a bit with all of you our Web3 roadmap here at DayAway. So for anyone on the line that's unfamiliar with what DayAway is building, we are in an online marketplace for booking daytime experiences at luxury hotels. So DayAway is hoping to define a new era of experiences, connecting the luxury hospitality industry to the growing experience economy via innovative Web3 and marketing initiatives. Now, why is connecting with the experience economy in Web3 so exciting for the hospitality industry? Well, it's because the global luxury hotels and resorts industry is expected to be a $160 billion market by 2031, which pales greatly in comparison to the $8 trillion experience economy and the $13 trillion metaverse market opportunity. So we know that hospitality and travel brands are really trying to diversify into these new markets, but they're having some challenges because they're not equipped with the technology or perhaps the marketing tools to participate in these new economies. So DayAway is taking a multi-step approach to helping hotels to diversify their offering to connect with the experience economy in Web3. So our first step was building this B2B2C experience marketplace. So we've built a highly sophisticated inventory management solution that allows hotels to identify and quantify the experiential inventory that they have on property. So it might be packaging multiple facilities together that are underutilized at certain times of day, certain days of the week, and offering these really engaging daytime experiences to a growing market of users who are interested in booking those kinds of experiences. And of course, as you see here, we have this centralized B2C platform where our guests can come to the mydayway.com marketplace to discover, browse, and book these daytime escapes in one centralized online location. So we built the tech, and now we're working with hotels to transform their properties into their own experiential marketplaces. So really curating that inventory that will maximize awareness for their brand and elevate that experience for their guests. We are not a discount-driven site. This is not about selling underutilized spaces at a significant discount. It's really about repurposing them to engage with guests in a new way. It was very important for us to align our platform with 5-star hotels in the market. We are a luxury brand experience. So as you can see here, we've really prioritized working with all of the best hotels where we operate, which is currently Singapore, Hong Kong, Thailand, and Australia. And we have several very exciting announcements coming in the next few months about new markets where we'll be launching the DayAway platform. But as Dave alluded to earlier, Web3 is all about engaging communities. So this was the whole point of building these metaverse projects, of launching NFT collections to engage communities in a new way. So we are really focused on DayAway at starting to expand our community to other hospitality adjacent industries, working with airlines, luxury retail, private helicopter companies, private yacht companies, luxury F&B brands like Lauren Perrier, to diversify the experiences that we can offer, and also to potentially provide a wide variety of utilities to our DayAway community. And when you hear the word utilities, of course, the first thing we all think of is Web3. And we're really working to align our brand with the best names in Web3 as well. So when a lot of the metaverse community heard that we were offering DayAway as a very exciting incentive to some credit card companies, Fortune 500 companies looking for employee mental wellness benefits, and as a membership club to some of the most prestigious membership clubs in the world. The Web3 community started coming to DayAway asking if we could serve as a kind of C2C, community to community utility provider to provide that access to in real life experiences that a lot of NFT and DAO projects promise their communities, but they have a hard time delivering because they don't necessarily have the relationships with the vendors like luxury hotels or the booking platform for their NFT communities to book these in real life experiences. So DayAway is really working on expanding our community to offer the benefits of our platform to as big of a community worldwide as we possibly can. And that brings us to the next step in our strategic roadmap, which is launching our own NFT lifetime membership. So our first NFT drop will be called Genesis. And Genesis will be the first NFT of its kind, providing in real life utility and access to the world's most luxurious hotels and branded virtual experiences. So this is just one use case of how Metaverse technology can be used to benefit our platform by helping us grow and engage our community faster. So our first drop will be happening in 2 installments. We'll be dropping something called the Founder's Key this month. We're already pre-selling that NFT to a select group of VIPs. And what we're hoping to do with this Founder's Key is involve other corporates, NFT and DAO projects to buy into our DayAway vision. And we want to start providing those corporates and NFT projects with the utilities to offer their community. As we start to strengthen the relationships with these partners, our community will grow. Publicity about DayAway will grow, so that when we decide to offer a Genesis collection to the public, probably sometime in October, there will be global awareness for our platform, and that NFT is likely to sell out because we are delivering on our promises in real time. We are expanding to new countries, new cities, more hotels onboarded, and therefore more utilities and perks for our community. And our membership will come with a number of things. You would receive priority access to subsequent DayAway NFT drops, access to other luxury brand drops that come into our partnership portfolio, your own DayAway Diamond Concierge membership, and a number of upgrades, membership club access, and priority privileges to select DayAway partners. So this is a really great way for us to build our community quickly and engage them in really interesting ways. And of course, probably the most important thing with our Genesis NFT membership is it will come with access to DayAway experiences in the metaverse. So we're already working with a number of hotel partners to start designing virtual experiences that align with their brand pillars. So hotels that really have a focus on wellness or culinary experiences or art, we can help them to develop these really engaging virtual experiences that can be accessed to people potentially in source markets very far away. So imagine a new hotel opening here in Singapore that's looking to attract a source market primarily from Europe or the US. You could be engaging with prospective guests a year before opening and building all of these really amazing virtual experiences that will help people to better understand your brand. So we think this is a really exciting opportunity for DayAway and for the hospitality industry in general. Here's another really exciting initiative that we're working on called the Bucket List. So the Bucket List will be a series of once-in-a-lifetime money can't buy experiences that are auctioned off as one-of-one NFTs. So we are in conversations with several high-end auction houses who want to be our partner to auction off these NFTs. And we're already in conversations with some of the world's most iconic hotels about participating in this initiative. So what will be included in Bucket List for each NFT will be, of course, the digital collectible designed by a world-renowned digital artist. This mock-up that you see here is by a digital artist named Krista Kim. Krista Kim is famous for selling the most expensive piece of real estate in the metaverse ever. She sold the Mars house for around $500,000. She's also Vogue's metaverse editor, and she's just a growing name in the space. So we would engage an artist like Krista Kim or somebody from that community to design the digital collectible. The NFT will also come with one GLB file of either the hotel's signature suite designed in a 3D model or a virtual experience inspired by the hotel. So this is a really amazing asset because it can be integrated into any metaverse project. So the digital experience in and of itself holds value. But of course, the most exciting thing about this NFT is that in real life, once in a lifetime money can't buy experience. So we have a number of these experiences being curated as we speak, but I'll just give you some examples of what this might look like. A new hotel that's opening here in Singapore, let's just say, that is designing one of the most out of this world infinity pools that, their community has ever seen. They might auction off a money can't buy experience to one purchaser who gets to do an entire hotel opening takeover. They will be the first person ever to stay in that, out of this world hotel suite. They will have that infinity pool to themselves for the entire day. They get to send that first Instagram video to the world of that property. That's a really very unique, cool money can't buy experience. Other things that we were considering are behind the scenes event access, possibly it's something like F1, the viewing of a private art collection, a celebrity inclusive experience. We have some hotels in the US who are saying that they can get the purchaser an invitation to the Met Gala or an Oscars after party. So these are all things that hotels do on a fairly, maybe not regular basis, but if celebrities were coming into their property or royalty, they roll out the red carpet and they make experiences happen that wouldn't normally be available to the public at any price. Our bucket list initiative is a great platform for hotels to be able to represent that to the world. And imagine what this looks like in terms of press. DayAway announces its global expansion with a series of once-in-a-lifetime experiences sold as one-of-one NFTs, as I mentioned, in collaboration with renowned digital artists and the world's most exclusive luxury brands. You can see this already as activating a global awareness campaign for the hotels who partner with us on this initiative. And here's how this revolutionary hybrid ecosystem would work between Web 2 and Web 3. We're using these Web 3 initiatives as our brand capstone. They serve as very low cost, high ROI marketing initiatives that not only generate revenue, because these NFTs will actually make money, but they drive demand for our high volume experiences at the base of our pyramid. So they have this really powerful long tail marketing effect that from the sale of one NFT that creates global news, we're selling thousands, potentially one day millions of these experiences that are open to the public. Pool experiences, F&B experiences, cocktail making masterclasses, et cetera. And the larger that community grows at the base of our pyramid, the more valuable our memberships and our NFTs become over time. So we're generating this really wonderful flywheel effect to engage both our Web 2 and Web 3 community. And here are just a few takeaways for our hotel partners who are on the line. We think that there are some really great initiatives in the coming months that hotels can already start to activate. So thinking about virtual experiences that enhance and extend the hospitality experience, not cheapen it. Using NFT collections to engage and reward your community of guests and really better understanding your community and what they want. Of course, as I mentioned, maximizing brand awareness through these bucket list type experiences. And we would really encourage hotels to start thinking about the adoption of technologies like payment gateways that accept cryptocurrency and other blockchain enabled platforms that can help ease on-property operational friction. We think this is a huge opportunity for some of our hotel partners. And then lastly, considering how blockchain technology could improve their existing loyalty programs, especially in the wake of COVID, to be more transparent and flexible and meet the needs of their community. We think these are all really incredible opportunities for hotels that DayAway is very excited to help support. So thank you so much, Jeroen. Sorry, I'm just going to stop sharing.
Yeah, thank you very much, Martha. I think that was really great, and good to see the growth and the international expansion of DayAway, but also how Web3 can really be, something that can bring this to in real life and some good experiences. How you can, are not providing just a booking platform, but really being a partner and helping people engage into this world that's all new to us. So thanks for that. Very exciting. So I think we'll have a couple of questions that already came in, but please, everybody that has questions, either to Dave or to Martha, feel free to type them in the chat. The team is gonna look at them and we'll pop them up as they come. But maybe for me to kick it off, while you guys type in your questions, maybe start with Dave. So as you we were seeing that we're sort of at the beginning of this vibe shift of Web3, and it feels like with any of these initiatives, it's really something for the small experts right now. But how and when do you think this will become mainstream? What's sort of your expectations on that?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I've been in the sector for over 6 years, the crypto and Web3 sector, and that's kind of an eternity in crypto years. But over that span, I've seen things move from just kind of the initial stages of Bitcoin being used, and then it was smart contracts and Ethereum, and then it grew to decentralized finance and using smart contracts as a tool that can replace some human error. And then it moved into NFTs, and now it's starting to move into Metaverse. And all along the way, it's acquired more and more users into this space. So we're definitely still early. There are somewhere between 100 million and 200 million people in the crypto sector that have cryptocurrency. But that number constantly grows. And what's interesting is it's kind of a one-way street. So once you get into the sector, you don't really leave. Once you open up an exchange account or start acquiring crypto as a currency or get into the sector with games or NFTs, people generally don't completely shut it off and exit the system. But what's really going to drive mainstream is probably going to be gaming and metaverses and entertainment. So this is what's kind of the new wave that's coming. NFTs made a huge run last year and brought a lot of people into the space. And at the same time, it causes some nefarious activity or people that just want to make a quick buck and launch some business or project that fails. But this is probably going to be the huge mainstream adoption because kids are playing games, and kids are playing Roblox and Minecraft, Fortnite. But where these games are going is you can earn NFTs, or you can earn currency, or you can earn in-game assets that you can spend, you can trade, you can sell. And it's a lot of fun too. And so when these younger generations are playing these games, they can use those NFTs as a flex with their friends for their avatar. And then all the friends talk about it. And then as they grow into adulthood and into the market, then those people are always, again, it's gonna be a one-way street. So it seems like gaming and metaverses and NFTs are gonna be this new adoption and wave that's gonna bring more people in.
So it's a bit like the Happy Meal that will get you hooked for
life.
Exactly. This is sort of the equivalent to that. So no, thanks for that. And maybe for you, Martha. So we spoke a lot about your current platform and all of the Web3 initiatives that you're doing, and I see some questions coming in already. So it seems like people are very interested in that. So maybe for a single hotel that sort of wants to get started and is inspired by what you guys shared today, what would you think is the first thing they should do? Obviously, apart from signing up with DayAway, but what else could they do?
After they've signed up with us, I think the most important thing that hotels at the property level should prioritize is education. Educate themselves on the opportunities in Web3, either by dedicating somebody on your team to start doing this research, or hiring someone crypto native to come in and help your team strategize about how to participate in this space. This technology is not going anywhere. I promise you, it would be a good investment. There are things that are going to change in this market constantly, and having somebody on your team that's aware of what's happening in this space, I think, is really important. And I think the other thing that hotels should start doing now is really digging into the information to understand their community, what they want, how to better engage them, and really how they can make Web3 work for their business. Don't change your business to fit Web3. Figure out how it can better support your existing infrastructure, grow your community, but don't be jumping into projects all over the place just to participate in the hype. I think that's a recipe for disaster.
Good. That sounds great. And I think there's some follow-ups as well. I think it was Stuart that asked it. So I'm just reading it up. So as we're all a little bit new to, as we said before, Web3, NFT, crypto, all of that, how does that work in the hospitality industry? And what would be a good source to start educating ourselves? I know there's lots of forums, there's lots of podcasts, there's lots of material out there, and I've tried to dig into it myself, and it can be a bit daunting, especially at first. So what would be like a good source to get started and get familiar with this new world?
I know Dave's answer because when I was trying to get into this space, I thought surely there's a class, there's something I can sign up for to learn about this in a finite amount of time. And I'll let Dave talk more about it. But in Web3, they have this saying, it's not the nicest, but it's DYOR, do your own research. Create a wallet, buy crypto, start learning about NFT projects, get into their Discord channels. And I have to say, after doing it myself, there literally is no better system. They have another, Dave's friends have another strategy is get into the rabbit hole of YouTube. And anything that has views, just watch from one video to the next to the next.
Yeah. Thanks, Martha. Yeah, I get asked this question all the time. You know, how do you begin? Where are there resources? What should I read? What website should I go to? There's honestly so much information that's out there. It's just like, where do I start? And one place to start, as Martha mentioned, is literally go into YouTube and type in your first question, which is, what is cryptocurrency? What are NFTs? What is Bitcoin? What is blockchain? Type in just one question and then watch the video with the most views. And then after that, the algo is going to figure out other great videos for you to watch, or you're going to learn something in that video and have another question of, you know, what are smart contracts? And then you type that question in, and then that video is going to have something, and it's going to tell you about the Bitcoin white paper. Then you have to go read the Bitcoin white paper. And then you're going to go down literally this rabbit hole and just start learning and learning. And if you're curious about it, there's limitless information there. Yeah, podcasts, videos, articles, books, and websites that are live that you can use and experiment and play with. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the basic level, just start typing into YouTube, and then I think, you know, you'll kind of lose yourself with a couple hours of research.
I certainly lost a few hours here and there trying to figure things out. And as Martha said, try and set up a wallet and buy some crypto and all of that. So it's definitely good fun. And I think, but also a little bit to follow up on that. Once you get started, I mean, you shared a couple of things like Citizen M, and there's some like the golf course, etc., which is more hospitality related things. What would be a good newsletter or something to follow where these things get announced, or is it just all over the place, or is there sort of one or two good sources that are a little bit more relevant to hospitality that we can at least get familiar and inspired by what others are doing in the space within our industry?
Good question. I'm personally not an expert in the hospitality sector, but in the crypto sector at large, you know, there's CoinDesk is kind of like a news outlet. There's Cointelegraph. There are truly a lot of influencers that have a lot of news, and they share news, and they make YouTube videos. And there's the business CoinDesk that I mentioned. They also throw a lot of conferences. There's one right now in Austin, Texas, and it's massive. It's going to be huge. All the crypto influencers and big companies are going to be there. So there's even in real life events that you can go to. Hospitality specific, to my knowledge, it's still very nascent. I don't think there's too much yet. I think DayAway is actually doing things that are very pioneering. But yeah, there's news articles that come out, and I would just keep tabs on the sector because it's growing. And from my vantage point, there's just more and more tier one global brands coming in. Nike made a huge acquisition late last year of an NFT studio. We mentioned, you know, Louis Vuitton, LVMH has gotten in. Celebrities are getting in. There's NBA. The NBA Top Shot is an NFT platform. The NFL is doing something similar. So it's huge business, and it's just growing and growing. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah, sorry, just to add on to that, I don't know that there is one platform that's writing about hospitality entering Web3 specifically, but it is a really interesting conversation because crypto native projects promote on crypto native forums and platforms where more traditional industries like luxury retail or hospitality, they're still announcing their NFT projects with traditional media, where their audience, you know, engages, of course. It would be really interesting getting these worlds closer together. So, I mean, something that DayAway is trying to do with our NFT roadmap is really engage with the Web3 community, these crypto native people to buy into our project, and also taking people from, who are invested in traditional markets or engage with hospitality but don't understand Web3, educating them about why our platform will be better because we're utilizing Web3 technology and trying to bring these worlds a little bit closer together. But right now, there is still that dichotomy. It's like Web3 and Web2 about who's writing about what projects, but hopefully over time, they get closer together.
Very good. And I think also related to this is that obviously the whole, a lot of the technology relies on crypto, or at least that's the what people think. So maybe that's the first question. And there's obviously been a lot of press around crypto. It goes up, it went down a lot lately. And so how do you see that? Is there any concern there, or is it a good thing, or what's your take on that?
Crypto is is everybody's favorite punching bag for news. And if there's a crypto scam or some exchange gets hacked or something, makes big news. But over the years, the slice of the pie of the overall industry that's for nefarious activity is shrinking. So maybe the absolute dollar amount of fraud is increasing over time. The relative proportion to the whole pie is actually shrinking. And it's not dissimilar to any corporate fraud or activity on Wall Street and insider trading. This stuff happens in every industry in every country in the world. And blockchain technology itself is not hackable, and it's not penetrable. And so when people think that it's so risky, it's actually oftentimes user error or some type of platform, like an exchange that gets hacked, which is again human error. But the actual underlying technology is robust and sound. But another thing is that markets all over the world go up and down, and people can look at the oil and gas industry. Like, it was only 2 years ago that it was trading below $0, and now it's through $100. And then people talk about the crypto and Bitcoin volatility. It's just another industry, and it's still nascent, and there's more infrastructure being built around it that are going to help with these things. And as more capital, more people come in, it's also going to help with the fluctuations. But it's just a nascent industry that's finding its way, and yeah, more and more sophisticated people keep coming in. So a lot of smart people are believing in this long term.
Yeah, and one of the things I'd add to that is that in almost every market, in bear markets, better projects kind of rise from the ashes. So the crash, of Terra Luna is kind of in its own bucket, but what's happening in the NFT markets, all of this FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt around a few bad projects, maybe wake up the Web3 community to this was a bubble that was going to burst, like digital collectibles trading at millions of dollars. That essentially looks the same as a JPEG, that could only sustain so much growth. And what should, come out of this down market is projects that provide real utility, that really improve people's lives. And again, bringing these worlds of Web2 and Web3 closer together. And I think there are a lot of other projects like ours that are trying to seize that opportunity, be bold in this bear market and kind of show what the next era of NFTs should look like.
Yeah, and I think that's a great example. I think that's some of the things that you shared as well is a way that it gets away from, the digital art or sort of the world for small people that are enthusiastic about it, but bringing it more into real life experiences and maybe helping that become a little bit more mainstream. So that's good. And I think there's one question around that as well, or actually a few questions, but like where Metaverse is all very digital and online, how can that sort of help with hotels, with normal physical travel, or how can that sort of help translate into, real life money and economics?
Dave, say your thoughts first.
Yeah, sure. So some of the points we are making today are about NFTs and the metaverse, and it's about engagement with the community and engagement with your customer and relating to your customer and having a conversation with your customer. That's what NFTs can do. If if someone owns that NFT, through the blockchain directly, you can send them another NFT, or they can get access to certain upgrades or areas of the website or bookings that aren't available to people that don't have that NFT. So, I think what it does is it just opens a whole new paradigm for engagement, conversation, and access to people all around the world. So it's just another tool that they can use and grow their business and interact, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think Web3 technology is a way for hospitality and travel brands to kind of extend that experience, like create new areas for engagement. As an avid traveler, I don't think it's ever going to replace that in real life experience of walking into a beautiful hotel lobby. But think about my discovery process of learning about hotels through virtual experiences and hotels that I find really align with my interests because I've engaged with them on some Web3 platform before I even arrive on property at the hotel. And then NFTs can help with loyalty friction and all of these things. And even after my stay, I can continue to engage with that hotel through, again, the new cycle of virtual experiences and connection and participating in their community. So I think it's finding those ways to use Web3 as a new way to engage, not replacing the in real life experience.
Very good. No, I think that's really. I think also the marketing opportunities that you shared, and really that engagement is just another tool to engage with a very wide audience and cross border and all that. So hopefully that will generate some business as well for the on life. And maybe on that point, maybe just to finish off with that, I think we're sort of running at the end of the scheduled time. But is there like one really cool example of something that is happening in the hospitality industry that you could share or you could show as sort of a best practice or something that's inspiring to this audience?
Dave, you have an example?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I think we've come across a number of projects. I'm really keen on one. They are Singapore-based. It's not hospitality specifically. It's not a hotel. They are kind of a co-living, co-working platform that's launching a digital country club called Figment, where their community can engage with each other in these really amazing virtual spaces and really connect. I think they're really nailing it in terms of how to use Web3 to really support their business. And then, now dozens, if not hundreds of airlines accepting Bitcoin, hotels prioritizing new technology that allows them to accept cryptocurrency. I think, kudos to all of those brands that are taking that next step, because it seems small to maybe the rest of the Web3 community, but for hotel chains, this is a massive shift for them. So I think even those small wins should be celebrated.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's a start that I think this will be a snowball effect. So we'll start small, but I'm sure this is going to get bigger and bigger. And as we are in that rabbit hole, there's no way out, as we've learned today. So that's good.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think we're sort of at the end of the scheduled time. So thanks everybody for their attention, and thanks for some good questions. And Martha and Dave, thanks for sharing your stories and engaging with those questions. It was really, really insightful. So maybe Martha, you might want to close up with saying goodbye to everybody, or any last remarks before we finish off the session.
Sure. Well, Jeroen, thank you so much again for hosting. We really appreciate your time on our first DayAway Dialogues. And for everyone who tuned in today, for any of the hotels on the line, you have taken the first step. You are a bit ahead of 90% of the global population by taking the time to learn more about this industry and how it can benefit your brand, your hotel property. So congratulations to you. And yeah, we really look forward to any follow-up questions, engaging with your hotels. If you'd like to learn more about our strategic roadmap and how we can support your brand as well. So please feel free to reach out anytime. And thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Okay.
Very good. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for everybody. And I say have a great rest of the day then.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jeroen. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks.